How did someone's attempt at lying completely ruin their day? My coworker Brian thought he was so clever. He'd been planning this lie for weeks, waiting for the perfect moment to call out sick so he could drive 3 hours to see his favorite band's surprise reunion concert. Only 500 tickets were released online, and he scored one after refreshing the page all morning from his cubicle. The morning of the show, Brian called our boss with the most pathetic voice I've ever heard. "Food poisoning," he groaned into the phone. "I haven't left the bathroom since 3 a.m. It's coming out both ends." Our boss immediately told him to rest up and feel better. Brian hung up, probably grinning like an idiot. I found out later he threw on his vintage band shirt, packed snacks for the road, and drove 3 hours to the outdoor venue. He was so excited he started bragging to some girl in line about how lucky they were to get tickets. She laughed and said her company would totally fire her if they knew she was skipping a work conference to be there. But here's where it gets good. As Brian moved closer to the entrance, he spotted something that made his stomach drop. Through the gate, he could see a huge banner with our company logo. His face went white. The surprise reunion concert wasn't just any random show. Our company had rented the entire venue for our quarterly team building event, a private concert for employees and their families. Brian tried to duck behind this tall guy in front of him, but it was too late. Our supervisor, Kate, spotted him from across the crowd. She was wearing jeans and a hoodie, clearly there for the company event. "Brian?" she called out, walking over. "I thought you were dying from food poisoning." Brian's mouth opened and closed like a fish. I started feeling better once I got some fresh air," he stammered. Kate raised an eyebrow. "Fresh air? You felt so much better that you drove 3 hours to a concert? In your band t-shirt?" The girl he'd been flirting with was watching the whole thing unfold. Turns out she worked in our marketing department and recognized both of them. Brian's face turned bright red as more coworkers started noticing him. But the real disaster was still coming. See, Brian hadn't just called in sick. Earlier that week, our company sent out invitations to this team event, and Brian had filled out the decline form claiming he couldn't attend due to contagious illness. He'd put it in writing and signed it. Kate pulled out her phone and called HR right there in the concert line. Not only had Brian lied about being sick, but he'd also officially documented that he was too contagious to be around coworkers. Now here he was, at the exact company event he claimed he couldn't attend, healthy as a horse and ready to party. HR didn't fire him on the spot, but they put him on a 90-day performance review program. He lost his quarterly bonus, got written up for falsifying company documents, and his reputation was completely trashed. For months afterward, whenever someone called in sick, people would joke about them pulling a Brian. The marketing girl he'd been hitting on, she avoided him like the plague after that. The whole office knew the story by Monday morning. Brian went from being just another face in the crowd to being the guy who got caught in the dumbest lie possible. He still had to sit through the entire concert, surrounded by coworkers who kept giving him dirty looks. Every time the band played a song, someone would lean over and ask if his stomach was feeling better. It was 3 hours of pure torture.